Right. And have we just distorted
Mm.
what it means to follow Jesus because we're so competent, because
Mm.
we have, so much perceived control over things. I mean,
Mm.
I think this is a call for us to reorder things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And what a beautiful invitation. I know for me, I went a lot of years, Heather, with a shame mentality
Mm,
of like what you're saying. When I was that girl, when I am that girl, the old me, and again, I still struggle in so many ways, but that shame that God has actually done so much in my life would tell me like, oh, you've blown it again. And shame always, we see this in the garden in Genesis 3. It attaches itself to our identity and tells us what you've done is disqualifying you to return back to God. And I love to point this out in Genesis 3. We know that shame attaches itself to our identity because when Adam and Eve ate of that fruit, they didn't cover the fruit. They never
mm,
covered the object
mm.
of their failure. They covered themselves.
Yeah.
And so I think that shows that shame for us can run really deep. But what I love about what you're saying is when we fall short, when we're so trusting in the invitation, Jesus didn't just say, come to me one time in Matthew 11 and you get this one shot. And if you don't stay here, then you're out. Like he
Right.
didn't say that.
Right.
He was making a declaration and a statement that we have this moment by moment, day by day invitation to come back to the table of surrender. And so I
Yeah.
know for me, like what you're describing, and again, don't want to speak for any listeners, but I think we're all the same in this way
Yeah.
that we forget what you're saying, that he should be at the forefront of every decision, not the afterthought or not
Yeah.
the add on. He's not guacamole at Chipotle. He is the whole bowl.
Yeah.
He's everything. And so with that, if anyone out there is like I relate with that, but I feel so ashamed because I can't quite get this right. And I keep making plans without him, or I keep neglecting my time with him. I would just say, friend, receive grace in this moment. Jesus
Yeah.
knew you would stray again and again and again. But to circle back to what we talked about, there's something that happens when we decide to take our eyes off of ourselves and not make it about willing ourselves into change, not willing ourselves into putting Jesus first. We just look to him and we become in love with him. And A.W. Tozer has this amazing quote, and I can't get it perfect, but to paraphrase, he just says, when the eyes looking in meet the eyes of the God looking in, heaven has begun here, right here on earth. And with that, life change actually just happens when
Yeah.
we look to him. We're conformed
Right.
by him, we're changed by him and transformed. And so if anyone out there is like, yeah, I am the woman that Heather just described. I just want to encourage you. You are not too far gone. You are invited back to the table of surrender today and take him at his word that he will give you rest.
Yes. I love that. And also, I don't know. I feel like I need to say this, but it's dangerous territory to tread in. We can stay stuck in shame because of our pride,
Mm.
right? Where it's we're believing the lies of shame, but we're also believing this prideful lie that says, I'm worse than everyone else. So I don't deserve to ever, I don't deserve grace really, right? And it's the
Mm.
flip, it's the opposite side of the pride coin, because most of the time we think about pride as being like, well, I'm too good. Like I don't need it. Like I'm the best, right? But pride can also be just being stuck in, I'm the worst. I'll never get better. It's just grace isn't enough for me. And that's just a lie
Mm.
too. And
Good.
so seeing that shame, like you said, absolutely. And if you feel stuck there, oh goodness, maybe it's time to just say, okay, Lord, is this a pride problem? Like pride is the
Mm.
sneakiest,
Mm.
right? It's so
So good.
insidious. It works its way in and just hides in the corner there. Oh, that's my pride. Oh, I see it now. And
Mm.
so looking for that pride because you are not the worstest. You are not too bad for grace. There's no such thing.
Yeah, that's a beautiful. I'm so glad you said that because we can think of pride just being owning our successes, but it's also like dwelling on our failures. It's if I win, that's on me. If I lose, that's on me.
Mm.
And ultimately, Jesus invites us to lay down that pride of like nothing. And C.S. Lewis and Tim Keller talk about this beautifully. Tim Keller says, basically like we have this mentality to be like, yes, Jesus, it's all God, but I did the work too. And he's like, who gave you the ability to do the work? Who gave you the
Right.
brain? Who gave you the plans and put you in touch with the right? It was all him.
Right.
And with that, we have nothing to boast in. We
Mhm.
truly, truly, truly don't. That doesn't mean self deprecation,
Mm.
but again, it means thinking less of myself and more about the plans and the purposes of God. The same goes for our failure. When we
Right.
blow it, yes, we had a part to play, but who are we to say that the cross is not greater than the sin? And this morning in the Bible app, I read Isaiah 53:6. I have it right here. And I just think it was like so providential for our conversation, Heather. It says, all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. And then it says, he says, and the Lord has laid on him, on
Mhm.
Jesus, the iniquity of us all. So all of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But truly, the beautiful part is that even years before Jesus set foot on earth, Isaiah prophesied that God would lay on Jesus all the sin of the world. And so we can look to the cross, and we don't have to dwell in that shame. We can kind of take those medical fig leaves off that were in
Yeah.
Genesis 3
Yeah.
and be clothed with this better covering that we read in Isaiah 53.
Yeah. Love it. Good preaching there, Morgan.
No. Hey, good timing. Thank you, Bible app.